Hello, my queens. I am joined by Priyanka Chopra, actor, singer, and star of ABC's Quantico. Hey, girl.
Hi.
How are you doing? Now, something to start. I heard you also rap.
Like we all do
like,
in
wait a minute.
car.
No, we don't.
We do. Lil Kim, Biggie Smalls,
That's fair.
90s, we all do it.
That's fair.
Like that kind of rap,
Okay.
not for real.
Just
So it'll be funny to attempt it, I think.
you can do it all.
I'll try it in the mirror
Okay.
a couple times.
Okay.
And then,
I like that. You're like, we're gonna
rehearse
level.
it and then be like,
Uh-huh.
am I decent enough to do this in public? Then we'll try it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that approach. I'm the same way. Well, let's talk about Quantico. It's the
Yes.
third season, and I think it's really interesting. It seems like the show has just really evolved and changed, and so now it's like a relationship to what's happening right now in the news and in our country. What's it felt like kind of moving into this new space where it's like ripped from the headlines?
Well, what's really cool about Quantico this year is that we have a new showrunner. His name is Michael Seitzman, and the show that Josh Safran created, he's just taken the essence of that and like flipped it around a little bit. We're 13 episodes this year, which is great for a whodunit because you know you don't want to wait till episode 24 to find out who did it. So I'm really glad about that.
Okay.
And the second thing, it's very global. The show this year, we started shooting in Italy, we ended in Ireland. Every episode we travel to another part of the world or like at least the countries that America liaisons with. And it's very topical, which I think like is so cool to see on TV. Because, you know, as young people, we're watching entertainment, and then you also get to understand what's happening around the world and the debates and the conversations around it. So that makes it really relevant. And along with that, of course, you have all of Alex's man drama, which is
So much.
always consistent. We have 3 this year.
Okay.
That's sure. A lot of boys.
You know, Alex, out here doing it.
I mean, I'm not complaining, but it's a lot of
You're like, I'll cope.
I'll take it.
Well, something else that's wonderful is that Marlee Matlin just joined the show.
She's so amazing.
And I understand she's taught you some curse words in ASL.
Well, she did teach me a few bad words.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Oh, wait, what?
Oh,
Yes.
what is that? Asshole?
Bullshit.
Bullshit. Oh, okay.
Then,
I like that.
and then there's bitch, please.
Oh, bitch, please.
Bitch, please.
Oh, I like that. We can work with that.
That's my favorite.
Okay, we're gonna use that on the show now. It's so cool.
With like this big eye roll.
I'm here for it. I mean, it's cool hearing like American Sign Language and that being represented. Are there, when you're like over the course of the seasons, is it a conversation you get to be a part of as they're developing the show about, we want to bring in this experience?
Well, it's so amazing with Michael that he insisted that he wanted to have Marlee on the show. Not only is she an Academy Award-winning actress, but at the same time, to be a person who's differently abled and at the same time achieve so much, especially for the deaf community. She does so much work. She has her own app. She travels around the world doing work for the deaf community. And it's so cool to have someone like that on mainstream network television every single day being a badass FBI agent. You know, she's a gun-wielding, taking down bad guys chick. And so cool. That I love that the diversification of the show not only was limited to just races and different kinds of people who look different ways, but also abilities, which is really cool. Yeah,
because and especially like a show like this, you're reaching such an audience.
Yes, especially we're so global this year. We're like in 60-something countries, about 200 territories around the world, which is why like it's so cool that it's so global that it relates to so many other people.
Connecting with all those people, Something else I've really admired the way you've talked about equal pay and gender, finding out that you were paid less because you were a woman, skin color and colorism. What are your thoughts now in the conversation about Time's Up? Do you feel hopeful? Like, do you feel like things are actually going to really change in a substantive way for women?
See, I think we're in a really interesting time right now, and I don't want to just pick up the Times Now movement or the Me Too movement, because I think that everybody's like, oh, what are we doing about it? We're just talking about it. We're just tweeting about it. What is actually coming out of it? The amazing thing that's coming out of it is bringing people together. For the first time, women probably have support of each other, other women coming out in support of their sisters, and men coming out in support of the women in their lives. And feminism needs that. When it comes to women, and especially women of color for that matter, opportunities are very, very limited and very less. So when we're talking about pay disparity or like, like us not getting paid as much as men do in any field for that matter, not just in entertainment,
certainly not
but even CEOs, like female CEOs have to have an extra degree to be able to qualify for the same job that a man would. So things like that, I think because we've had less opportunities, there are that many more women vying for the same job. So when someone stands up for themselves and says, no, this is what I deserve and I want this, it's very easy for the other person on the other side of the table to be like, all right, well, you don't get the job because I have 20 other people standing there.
Options.
Yeah. So because we have just like 5 parts for 25 actresses for that matter. So the conversation, I think, needs to be about creating opportunity and casting for merit. And, yes, of course, we write stories from different parts of the world, but I think casting needs to be because the best person for the job instead of what someone looks like or what's the business viability of someone based on their skin color.
Right.
That many more people will watch someone if they look a certain way. I mean, that's, I think, a very primitive thought. And in the world where we are today in 2018 with so many young people, like if you look around us, the world doesn't look like one person at all. And that needs to be represented in entertainment. Like my show, I'm the first South Asian actor to ever lead a network TV drama before me.
It's incredible that it's just now.
2016.
Right. That's the first in
Kerry
this
Washington was the first African-American woman, which was like 2014 or 13
and
on
for
Scandal.
her, it had been like 40 years before there had been another black woman.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. We've never even had one. We just had Apu from The Simpsons.
Right.
Which was on TV. I know. So, so what I'm saying, like, that's like, those are things that at least they're happening. So I'm hopeful for the future of the world because we're talking about it. And I always implore people to not look at the negative, not think about, oh, what have we gotten done by talking about time's up? Or what's the point of #MeToo just because people talk about it? What's the point of the Women's March? The point is that it gives hope to the next generation. It's laying the seeds for the next generation to be able to have their rights, like the women who fought for us being able to vote. Today we don't think about it because they had that
It's something
fight.
we can take for granted.
Yeah, so we're doing it for our kids.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I'm just amazed at the grace, and the candor you're able to talk with, because you have so many eyes on you, and which is wonderful and absolutely well-deserved. But also, I wonder if it's like overwhelming.
I get into trouble for having an opinion sometimes because there are so many eyes on you. And
how have you kind of learned to deal with that?
I mean, I feel like I'm not someone who's sitting here to offend anyone or to upset anyone, but I am a woman of the world and I'm concerned about the globe, and I am a millennial who wants to take responsibility of my future and ensure that people around me have that. So I'm going to have an opinion and I'm going to be concerned, and if that upsets someone, well, haters gonna hate, potatoes gonna potato, roti's gonna rotate. What you gonna do about it?
Rotis are gonna
That's my idea for a t-shirt.
That was good. I like that. That should get it quick, girl. Get it quick. Someone will jump on that.
I also do it soon.
Someone wear a BuzzFeed. We can make it happen.
Roti's gonna rotate.
I also wanted to ask about your good friend Meghan Markle.
Yes.
I love that y'all are friends and you met like a few years ago and hit it off. You're going to be at the wedding.
Yeah.
They love a good hat.
Yeah.
They love. Are you excited about the hat? Are you stressing out about it?
First of all, I didn't even know what a fascinator was.
You were like, interesting. What?
I was so a hat is mandatory, whatever. And I was like, so someone was like, you should wear a fascinator, like a little one. And I was like, yeah, that's what I'll do. Google.
You're like, got it.
You don't want to sound stupid. But I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited about, like a friend and her big day. That's always like an amazing thing to share. And especially this is such a life-changing moment, not just for the two of them, but for the world in a way, for the monarchy, for like young girls. I mean, she's a real girl like us, and she's someone who's always concerned about the world. So I think it's a really natural progression for her to be in this position as an influencer,
Yeah, I'm happy for her. I'm excited to see what she does in this new role. Well, also, we had to ask about your dog, Diana.
She's a BuzzFeed baby.
BuzzFeed baby. So you were here a little while ago.
I was here for...
Hi, Diana. Oh, my goodness. Hello.
Yeah. That's Diana.
Hi, Diana. It is very nice to meet you. You are the first dog to be on AM to DM.
she's a TV-friendly doggy.
I love it.
We were doing an interview on BuzzFeed where like you guys unleashed a bunch of puppies on me. And she was just 4 weeks old. And she just sort of went under my arm and hid there.
Oh my gosh.
And I just took her home that night. So I thought it would be a full circle to bring her back to you.
Hi, I love this.
She's a kisser.
I love a kiss. Well, Diana and Priyanka, thank you so much for joining us today. And friends, you can watch Quantico, of course, Thursday nights on ABC. Stay tuned, more AM to DM in a moment. Hey, sister girl. She's adorable. I see why you decided to go home.
Right?
Oh my God.